Well, you guys, good morning. As always want to express so much gratitude to be able to hang out with you guys every single day and start my morning and day off with you guys. Happy Veterans Day, as well, and shout out to all the veterans in here today. But what I want to talk about, I want to talk about today a skill. I want to talk about a skill that I feel like is really underrated, right? I'm not gonna say underrated, just an underestimated skill in this business that I think has been one of my superpowers just in life, right? But it's something that most people don't think about, right? So actually, I want to ask you guys this first before I hop into it, right? What do you guys think are some of those top skills in the business that everybody needs? Like in your guys' mind, what's that number one skill? What's that number one skill in your mind? Grit, persistence, work ethic, resourcefulness. So somebody said in there, I moved too fast. I can't read that fast, right? But somebody said optimism, right? Somebody said optimism. In my mind, right, optimism and being optimistic is probably one of the greatest skills that you can have in this business. Why? Right? Because there's going to be so many things that are going to be tough that are going to be thrown at you, right? And you have to have clarity on your vision and know and make the choice of being able to go out there and seeing the opportunities within all the lessons. Because guess what? There's going to be a lot of lessons that are going to come your way. There's going to be a lot of growth opportunities that come within your path. And you can look at it one or two ways. You can look at making the choice to see the power within that opportunity, right? Or you can decide to say, man, that's too hard. I don't think it's possible. I don't think I can do it, right? And you can go the other way, right? That's something that I talk with Ide all the time about, like being able just to be able to see the positive of everything. In my mind, everything is an opportunity. I'm somebody who likes to be able to hear people's perspectives, and sometimes, right, you can probably go too far with being an optimistic. To be honest with you, you can probably be a delusional optimistic at times, but I really don't care, to be honest with you, because it's helped me get to where I am. It has helped my mindset, and again, always being able to see the power in it. And optimism is not ignoring reality; it's just choosing to see the power within it at the end of the day. So I have a couple steps that I'm going to walk you guys through on the importance of optimism. Right? If you're talking to me, if you're listening to me today, and you're wondering, like, Michael, I get it, right? You need to be optimistic. You need to be able to see a bright future. You need to be able, yes, but I'm gonna break down the why, right? I'm gonna break down the why and how it has served me. And like I said, I'm gonna give you a couple of steps for you to be able to work on as well, so you can be able to incorporate that skill, right? Because optimism, it comes natural to some, but guess what? It's a skill at the end of the day that you can make the choice to embrace and bring into your life, right? Just like everything is a choice. And if you guys don't realize it or not, right, the power of our choices are heavy. The power of our choices are really heavy at the end of the day. All right. So, first, right, being able to embrace optimism, what you're going to have, and this is step one, right, or first thing anyway, is resilience. All right. When you're really optimistic, right, and you're embracing optimism, you're going to be really resilient. Why? Because optimists rise when others retreat, right? When they see a setback, they don't see it as a stop sign. They see those setbacks as an opportunity to be able to come back, right? Whenever I see an opportunity for growth for me, I'm like, oh man, it's not slowing me down. It's not, man, I need to hit that wall and turn around and retreat. I'm like, no, this is my opportunity for growth. Why? Because growth opportunities are put in your way for a reason, right? It's put in your way for you to be able to learn how to be able to grow through and manage, and to be able to grow yourself, right? There's no other way around it. When it comes to certain growth opportunities, whether it's in leadership and whether it's in production, you can try to skip it whenever you want, right? You can try to find your way around it. But guess what? That same problem is going to come up over and over and over again until you actually decide to face it head on. All right. So when life tests you, right? Optimists, they don't break, but they build the strength, right? They see the opportunity for themselves to
Six
be able to
degrees,
grow through,
36
right?
degrees is small.
And then, right, so like I said, right, the comeback is always stronger than the setback at the end of the day. And that's how optimists look at their opportunities and the challenges in front of them. Number two, right, they have unshakable motivation. I would say that's something about me, that is always there, right? There's always this fuel just to be able to go out there and get after it. There is nothing that can shake me. There's nothing that somebody can tell me that is going to, whether it's going to hurt my feelings, whether I'm take it as a personal attack. There's nothing that anybody is going to tell me that's going to stop me from moving forward. And that's one of the things that I love about symmetry and the opportunity they give. There is nobody here that can stop you. All right. You get to move forward no matter what anybody else thinks, right? This is your business, right? And when I saw this, it was like, all right, this is something that's me based upon my work ethic. This is something that I'm going to be able to get my hands on. And I have full confidence in myself. I have full confidence in myself. All right. And you got to keep going. You got to keep going. And something that I always tell myself, right, is those efforts will pay off. And Danny Young said this when I was new and I heard it and it just stuck with me. You just have to do the right things long enough. And unfortunately, sometimes we just don't know when that long enough is. But I know there's going to be an end point at some point, right, where I'm going to be able to achieve the things that I want to achieve. I just have to keep going, right? And when you embrace optimism, even when the path isn't clear, right? When you're embracing that optimistic side of your mind, you keep moving forward because you believe something great is around the corner, right? It's kind of like faith, right? It's kind of like having faith. So, with that, number three, you become a problem solver. I think I heard Brian Williamson say this one time. A well defined problem is just a problem half solved, right? When you start focusing right on trying to solve a problem, right, your mind and your brain is just going to start finding ways. It's going to start finding routes, opposed to always thinking, man, this is stopping me. If you tell yourself and you're asking yourself, why can't you do it? Guess what? Your brain is going to find solutions on why you can't do it. But if you become a figure it out person, right, and you start embracing that problem solving side, and you're trying to figure out a solution to this to be able to get through your situation, opposed to running away from it, then guess what? Right? You're going to be able to start finding solutions. Your brain is going to start working through that. All right. Where optimists, they see where others see walls, right? Optimists sees doors, right, waiting to be open, right? They don't waste time blaming others. That's really big. They focus on building, right? Building their strengths, building a path towards the road that they're looking to be able to travel, right? So when you're not worried about, you're not letting all these things bog you down, you're not worried about stress, you're not thinking again about, what is the word, Jim? What is it? Pessimistic, I think, something like that. You guys, I didn't finish school. I don't know all my vocabulary. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. You got a college dropout over here. But with that though, right, opposed to focusing on why things are always like bad, or you think this is going to happen because things aren't going your way in the moment, right? You don't realize, but you're blocking your creative side of your brain to be able to go out there and problem solve to the level that you need to accomplish the goal that you have in front of you. All right. And just know this. Okay. The bigger you grow in this business, just know the problems never actually end, you guys. Right? The problems never end. You just get better at dealing with the problems at the level that you're at, and that problem will grow to the next level. I had heard a mentor say this one time. He was like, Michael, the people at the top of the company with the biggest businesses, they have just learned how to be able to handle conflict very well. They have learned how to be able to handle conflict and problem solve a lot better than most, right? And the only way to be able to go out there and have a Danny Young sized business, a $30 million agency, or an Edward Pritchett or a Marshall Whalen type agency, or a Symmetry sized agency, right, is you got to be able to learn how to be able to deal with conflict, but also how to be able to problem solve at a really high level. Okay. Number four, right? And this is something that I have seen within my organization, right? And just kind of how I lead. But when you are optimistic, right, you're always looking towards a brighter future. You're not just looking towards the brighter future, but you're always making your way towards it and looking to be able to build those bricks to it. And again, continue to pave that road where nothing is stopping you, right? You have this magnetic like type leadership where people are attracted to working with you because people want to be around people like that, right? Especially in this business where we're all fighting for something, right? Optimists, they lift people up within the room, right? Their belief in the best brings out the best in others, right? If you're somebody that is always down all the time and you're looking towards the negative outcome or this or that, and nobody wants to be around you, right? And you're looking at your organization and wondering why, man, why aren't people sticking? Well, you're still complaining about dialing and opposed to learning how to be able to grow through that and get part of that part of your learning curve. Or you're complaining or thinking about things like, man, I don't even know where to post or whatever it may be, right? You're always focused on the negative aspect of it, so opposed to asking yourself, all right, what does it take for me to be able to actually get through this? How can I get through this? Right? And once you're able to do that, again, it's going to be magnetic. You're going to be able to draw people in because people want to work with people like that. Because being in a negative environment, Diane just said in the chat, being in a negative environment is exhausting. That is something that is exhausting to me. Right. I'm gonna be honest, I can't hear it. Right. I can't be in an environment like that. It drains my energy because I'm like, why are you focusing on things? Number one, you're either gonna pour energy into focusing on the bad or you're gonna pour energy and focusing on the good. Decide where you're gonna put your energy, right? But if you're going to put your energy anywhere, at least put it on somewhere that's going to make you progress a little bit further towards your goals. There's no reason staying stuck in the moment. That's something for me that I have. I'm gonna be honest. I just can't. I just never really comprehended. Like I don't understand it. I'm like, why that doesn't make sense in my mind. Just to be completely fair, right? So and just understand, right? The more optimistic you are, again with your leadership, it just know it becomes contagious, right, within your organization. All right. So number five, and this is something that again I have chatted with Ide about, because we were joking about this. Um, we were joking about this. When was this? It was maybe like a month or two. It was like 2, 3 weeks ago, right? We were waiting for a September snapshot to come out and all those things. And like I and I know this is a very real thing, right? I know this is something that people go through, but I've never really like had anxiety before. Right. So I don't know. And I did my fiance is somebody who has dealt with that in the past and all those things. And I was like, I think I got anxiety for the first time. Like, and she was like, no, Michael, you're just like excited, right? Because like you're waiting for the snap. That's not anxiety, right? Like it's not like you're worried about all these things and you want to go like focus on like she broke it down, right? I'm not gonna be great at breaking that down. But right, because of the things that I focus on, because of right the way I have wired, I'm not gonna say the way I've wired my brain, but just embracing again optimism, it has gave me this inner peace. It has gave me this inner peace because I focus on the things that I can control. And again, I have confidence, right? That if I know I can put the work in, and I think a lot of this stems from just being confident in your own work ethic, right? I know if I can lose my entire organization today, but if I can go out there and put the work in because I have confidence in my work ethic, then I truly believe that anything is possible, right? And symmetry is the vehicle that will allow that to happen, right? So when you're embracing optimism, you get to be able to go out there and have a calm spirit. You get to calm the storms inside, right? You get to calm the storms around you because guess what? There's always going to be things around you that are going haywire at times, right? It's called life. Life is always going to happen. You really can't control when life decides to throw things your way, but you do get to decide how you react in those moments. You do get to decide how that makes you feel. All right. And number six, right? When embracing optimism, right, you get to embrace peak performance and results, right? Being optimistic, right, and embracing that, that gives you the opportunity to be able to create momentum. All right. When you believe something great can happen, right, your actions start to align with that belief, right? But it starts with actually believing it, right? And then your actions align with it. And again, that builds momentum for you, right? So you see the success begins in the mind and the optimist and being optimistic, having an optimistic mind. It allows you to be able to have the belief. And again, you see that within your reality and what you expect. You go out there and you get the opportunity to attract. But again, it just starts off with how do you believe it? How do you see yourself? What are the things that you're actually focusing on at the end of the day? All right. And then the last one, number seven here, because I know I'm here on time, right? It's just you get the opportunity to truly embody and embrace and really live in a growth mindset, right? Because when you are optimist, right, when you are leaning into optimism, right, you never stop evolving, you never stop growing, right? I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago, right? But leaning into that character development, focusing on growing yourself, right? If you focus on growing yourself and growing your character and constantly becoming a better person, right, everything in the business that you want will be there at the end of the day, right? And they see the progress as as the reward. There's no perfection, right? There's no if you're somebody that looks for perfection, there's no perfection in life, right? All you can control is progressing forward. And that is something that I lean into a lot. How can I get a little bit better, right? A lot of you guys know me, right? Some of you guys don't, but Kobe Bryant is my guy, right? Mamba mentality, getting 1% better every day, embracing the journey and falling in love with the process, right? I used to do that with basketball, and I have now done that within this business, and it is such a freeing feeling. It is such a freeing feeling. And every experience that you have, no matter if you're winning, if you're losing, right, it becomes a lesson of pushing things closer to the greatness that you're looking to be able to go out there, embody, and have. And if I can say one thing, you guys, going back to what I said in the beginning, growth is a choice. Growing is a choice that we all get to make, right? And people who lean into optimism, right, they just choose that every single day. Every single day. All right. And to be able to close this out, what I want to end with is just understand, right? Being optimistic isn't about ignoring obstacles, you guys. It's just about seeing the opportunity within them. Because again, obstacles are never going to stop. But how are you going to see that obstacle within your path? Are you going to see it as something that's going to hold you back, or are you going to see it as a springboard that if you embrace and embody, it's going to spring you forward to the direction that you want? How are you looking at that lesson? How are you looking at that obstacle? How are you looking at that wall? All right. It's the mindset that turns ordinary people into leaders. It's the mindset that allows you to be able to go out there and start here with no experience, right? Knowing not knowing a thing that you're doing here, but being able to go out there and grow to a 10 million, 20 million, $30 agency. All right. So just stay positive, right? Work hard, always believe, right? And just understand one of the things that optimists believe and they hold dear, right? Is just understanding the best is yet to come. Today is the worst that it's ever going to be, right? So with that, Jim, that is all I got today, my man.
Dude, I love that so much. What a good reminder on the power of optimism. I see so many people call themselves realists, and I put over in the comments, guys, a realist is nothing but a pessimist justifying mediocrity. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you have to embrace a relentless optimism. Thanks for that reminder, Michael. Love it, guys. Breakout rooms are open. Find your AO, jump on in there, and let's crush it today.